Okay. We might have to do it like this. My computer's being stupid. Oh boy. Okay. Hello, everybody. So my computer sucks. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but he's like, I have the speaker down towards him. He's running so hot right now. I do not know what's wrong with him. But yeah, so this is how we get to do this. Hang on. Let me. Yeah, I'm on my phone now, Em, because my phone is more reliable than my computer because my computer is a piece of junk. All right, so we're gonna set up this camera. There we go. My phone has a better picture than my internet in my phone than my computer anyway. Jeez. All right. Okay. Um sorry about the malfunction of my computer. It's a piece of shit. The kittens even moved while I was doing everything, but now they're back where they were. They're back where they were, and so was Dot. Oh, you like my shirt? Yeah, it's a Yu-Gi-Oh shirt. It's awesome. Hang on a sec. So it's got like a Tem on it with all the Millennium items, and it's got the Millennium items down the sleeves. I got it from Spencer's. It was really cool. Spencer's is a cool place, and they've got like lots of stuff. No, Ruby, I had to come back because my computer decided to be stupid. So now I'm doing this from my phone because my phone is not as stupid. Yeah, my phone. Surprisingly enough, is not as dumb as my computer. I do need to get my charger, so hang on. My phone's fully charged, but my phone is known for dying randomly, so there's that. The only problem with this is that I will miss a lot of your comments because my computer does not show me everything. Yeah, the posters look a lot better, don't they? Like, they look really. The color on them is very good in my phone. But yeah. So anyway, let's start over and let's just talk about everything we've talked about already. Now that I have a more reliable connection. Okay, so the first thing that we talked about was Halloween. So everybody's Halloween was good. I didn't do anything. I was lazy. I worked all day at my job. A lot of my coworkers brought candy, and so I was really sugar filled that day. Hello everybody. Hello Gabriella. Oh, hello Jester. I didn't see you. But yeah, so Halloween was just a candy filled day at work, and then I came home, wore my Roman sweater all night long because it was freezing in my house. We hadn't turned on the heat yet, so it was very very cold in here because it was like 35 degrees or something that day. And it didn't snow or anything here, but it rained like the entire day. But then again, like I was telling CJ, because like I've lived here my entire life, and CJ just moved here like a year ago. I've told them like my entire life it always rains. I would say maybe 6 out of the 29 years I've lived here, it hasn't been raining on Halloween. Like if it's Halloween, it's gonna rain. But yeah, other than that, I didn't really do anything else. I just kind of watched videos with my kitties. Oh, Ruby, my favorite standard size is Virgil. Virgil will always be my favorite side. Roman is a very close second, but Virgil will always be number one. Um, but yeah. So if I don't see your comment, it's because I can't look at them again. I apologize. It's really hard for me to scroll through the chat on the screen and be able to also talk. So I'm not gonna. There we go. That's better. I hope you don't have a hurt back from sleeping on the floor, Nana. Sleeping on the floor is bad. Oh, I like Remus a lot too. He's not very high on my list. Like that's a list I don't mind telling you guys here, like the six sides in order, in terms of like my favorites. But I'm not. I would like to make a video on my list of sides, even though I would tell you guys in order. Oh, okay. Well, at least Nate, you have five blankets underneath you. That's good, Anna. But for those of you who are interested, if you want me to rank the sides, from 1 to 6, it is Virgil, Roman, Deceit, Logan, Remus, Patton, in that order. Which I know a lot of people probably don't don't like the fact that Patton is last on my list, but I have reasons for it. Not that I don't love him. I love Patton a lot. But there's a lot of things he's done lately that have rubbed me the wrong way. But anyway, so second thing we talked about, and since there are new people here, I would like to get your all's opinion on it as well. I recorded, for those of you, I guess if you just don't watch too many people on YouTube, not that I'm any more popular than anybody else, but I did mention that I watch Markiplier. And Markiplier recently had his big year project come out, A Heist with Markiplier, and I made a reaction video to it. I didn't know, and I asked everybody if everybody was interested in watching that, and a lot of people said yes. So if that is something you are interested in, I'm going to be doing that. A lot of people said yes. So if you weren't here and you are interested in seeing that, please let me know. Go ahead and put it in the comments or in the chat. I would love to see. I would love to know that you guys are okay with. I told everybody earlier, I did like 5 runs of the game. I do know all 31 endings. I know the secret ending, and I unlocked the website. So I know everything that happened in the Heist with Markiplier. So I might do a little video. Yeah, I did get the secret code. I do know the secret code. It was pain in the ass. I'll tell you that though. It was really bad. Oh, Jester, you died on your first playthrough. I didn't. I got the ending. I know a lot of you maybe haven't seen Heist with Markiplier, but I got the once more with feeling like nothing happened. We ended up like failing in our mission, so I got a pretty boring ending. Oh, Jester, you ran away from the caveman. You got fresh meat. That's all right. Oh, Lexi, yeah, I am still planning on ranking the episodes, but now that we know for sure we're probably going to get an episode in November, I'm going to wait and so I can put that video into the list. I would say it was originally going to be 2 parts anyway. But I'm going to wait. I've gotten most of the first part done, which was episodes 28 through 11 in terms of like my ranking. But I'm going to wait to see where the new 29th episode fits into my list before I finish making that video. And Cherry Lemon, I do make theory videos, but they're usually based on the new episode. So when the new episode comes out, I'm going to be talking about it in a theory aspect in a separate video from my react, like I did for SVS and for dealing with intrusive thoughts. And someone asked, I can't see who the user is, but someone asked if I think Deceit will be redeemed. Not in the same way as the other sides. And the reason for that is the fact that Deceit doesn't really need to be redeemed because he hasn't really done anything wrong, in my opinion. Yeah, Mandy, that's why you're in separate videos now, because Can Lying Be Good was way too long. Oh, Megman, you know how I got into the Sanders fandom? I've answered this before, but I don't mind saying it again because I'm sure there are lots of new viewers here, not just you. Oh, you got the time travel ending, Lottie? That's awesome. So the way I got into the Sanders is I've always been a fan of Thomas's Vines back when Vine was still like alive and a thing, and I didn't know about the Sanders sides until I was watching one of those big videos that he put up, all the compilations of like this month's Vines or whatever. And the first related video was my negative thinking. Because it was just the first related video, and I was like, what is that? And I clicked it and I watched it, and I just, whoa, it was nuts. So then I went back and I watched all the episodes up until the new one, and the last episode uploaded at the time was Becoming a Cartoon. So the first episode I saw as a Fander premiere was Accepting Anxiety Part 1. So, and you asked, do you think Remus is actually good or just dumb? I mean, I literally think he revels in what he does. He's almost like Logan in a sense, where like Logan is logic and he knows that, and he sticks to exactly what he represents. He wants to be taken seriously. He wants to, he wants to be the logical character. Remus is almost the same way. He revels in the fact that he has control of what he does. He's not afraid to be himself. He literally will do whatever it takes to be in charge of what he wants. And I don't think I think he's the child that you have to watch out for, because like Thomas is a very good character actor, and I think with Thomas the character, I feel like he really has a very big problem with understanding what's right and what's wrong, and yet it's also very black and white, as the way Logan explains it in the episode. And I think that Remus revels in being that kind of creativity in the same way that Roman revels being his kind of creativity. And if they were the same entity, they would be a balanced person, because they are literally both halves of a single whole. Because not everybody's creativity is divided. My creativity is not divided. Charlotte is one character. She represents all of my creativity, whether it's, the kind of gory, dark creativity that Remus represents, or she's the lighthearted, romantic, hero side of creativity. So that's really like not something that everybody's going to go through. And I think a lot of that comes from, like Logan says, it comes from character Thomas's Catholic upbringing about what is considered evil and what is considered good, and how there's really no way to split those two. And yeah, Jester, I agree. I do think that if he wasn't as suppressed all the time, I don't think Remus would have attacked as hard as he did in this episode, because he just boomed stuff out left and right. And I don't think he would do that if he wasn't so subdued all the time by Thomas, by inherently Patton, technically, because Patton would be the one to say that that's right or wrong, and he would be the one to subdue him. Not getting into the unsympathetic Patton, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole, but Patton is the one that determines what's right and wrong. And this is a harsh truth, but at the end of the episode, when Patton says that it's okay for Thomas to have those kinds of thoughts, it's almost as if Patton gave Remus permission to even exist, because Remus controls that kind of thing. So I don't know. I thought that was kind of weird, and I finally figured out why I thought that ending felt kind of weird. It's almost as if he's, Patton is saying whether or not it's okay that Remus and Deceit exist, which obviously they have to, because they're a part of them. But it's really weird to think about it like that. And that came to me the other day. I don't remember why I thought about that, and that's why I think Patton has been rubbing me the wrong way, because he's consistently like gatekeeping. I know that's a terrible word to use, but I can't really think of anything else like any other way to describe what Patton's been doing lately, because he's been very wary. Like, he let Virgil in because you obviously have to have an equilibrium of anxiety to be productive. which obviously Thomas needs to be productive because he's a YouTuber. He has to worry about the algorithm, and he has to be able to work. Whereas you don't really need your intrusive thoughts, and you really don't need to lie, but they're there anyway because Thomas is not a perfect person, because nobody's a perfect person. So that's my theory on whether or not I think Remus and or Deceit will be redeemed. No, I don't. Not in the same way that Virgil was. Just because Virgil's a little different. He took the route of pretending to be something he wasn't to get attention, whereas Deceit and Remus both revel in what they are, and they're not afraid. Excuse me, got the burps. Not afraid to show exactly who they are to Thomas directly, and I think that's the difference. And like I said, the chat disappears, so if you guys can keep saying what you want to say, I have to scroll on my screen to be able to see it. Oh, a random girl asked if I'm a fan of musicals. I am. And actually, you mentioned Hamilton, and I'm going to go see Hamilton with CJ in about a couple weeks. We're going to be flying back up north. CJ's mom managed to win a lottery to get tickets, so we're going to go see Hamilton. And Lottie, I mean, you're right. Yeah, Patton is Thomas, saying that, he could have peace with his intrusive thoughts by giving himself permission to think that. I do understand that. But I'm talking about them as separate characters. Like, Patton is the, form of Thomas's ability to say right versus wrong, which means Patton is kind of telling them, hey, okay, yeah, you can be here. Like, he gave Virgil permission to be there. He gave Deceit permission somewhat to be there. Yeah, I can talk about the member live stream if you guys want. Yeah, and Jester, that's what I mean. I always think he is the leader. I think Patton has a lot to do with his internal like who gets the last say as to what's valid, and it's Patton. Just because that's the side that's the strongest in Thomas. Like, for me, my side that would make most of my decisions is probably going to be my anxiety, or Valoria. She's the one that's going to get to make a lot of decisions. Now I am a member of Thomas's live stream, so I do pay the money every month. So I won't do this all the time, but there is a lot of Sanderside's information in the live stream, so I will tell you guys about what I know. I may have missed some because it started when I wasn't at work and I kind of looked at other people's notes. But for the real quick, Megamus showing the callback. No, you're not. A lot of people think that, including me. Hopefully that's something that we will get in the future. And yeah, Ruby, that's one of my headcanons, is that Virgil developed from paranoia. Like, he was fear, then he was paranoia, and then he turned into anxiety. But the member live stream, I know one of the things they talked about was they were going to start doing the mini-sodes again, which are like episodes that are anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes, maybe even shorter, about certain topics. And those videos are where Deceit and Remus can be in them, but not be, they're canon, but they don't have to do with the current storyline. And that's the way to get the sides in there, like to get the dark sides into the episodes that they aren't in as much, because they're not part of the main storyline. So the interactions that happen in those episodes will be canon, but they don't necessarily have like the deep lore in them. They won't have anything real big in them. Ruby, I don't watch Rick and Morty, no. And Random Girl, yes, I agree. I miss the mini episodes too. While I like the longer ones and they're great, they have lots of good like theory capabilities, I'm just not as big of a fan of having to wait 5 to 6 months every time we want to see a new episode, when they can just do little mini-sodes with like 1 or 2 sides just to give us a little bit of content. I mean, you saw how the fandom like lit up over that TikTok, because we haven't we haven't really, you know, had that much side content. And then of course, not only was the sides in there, but we also had a meal from cartoon therapy, and then we also had sleep from the shorts. So I think that um it would, if we just got any kind of content, it would be great. Excuse me, I'm a little sleepy. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Rick and Morty, no offense. I did try to watch it back when it first came on, and it just isn't my thing. I'm not a big fan on adult cartoons. Oh, Sydney, we're just talking about the member live stream stuff. But yeah, so the mini-sodes are supposed to be coming back. All of the new, there are new sweaters coming out. They are brand new ones, which hurts my wallet. We are also getting Deceit and Remus sweaters too. They both have sweaters. Which, if I have to pick some to buy, it's probably going to be in Deceit and Remus sweaters. Yeah, Sydney, the mini-sode's kind of like how in the past we've had episodes with like two sides, or even, you know, where it's like a debate or just talking or whatever. That's gonna be what the new episodes are gonna be like. That way they can have episodes with the dark sides in it that are canon, but they're not necessarily canon to the over. They won't have any major plot points in it. It'll just be like a little mini-sode in between. Cherry Lemon, we already know what Remus's logo is. It's a sword. It's a green and whitish sword. I am using my phone for the live stream, so I can't show you. But yeah, if somebody has a link that they can give Cherry Lemon to show them what it looks like. Well, Helium, you should be honest and tell them that you are Arrow Ace, and Arrow Aces can have relationships. I mean, I understand if you don't want one. I'm also Ace, and my partner CJ is Arrow. So, you know, some Arrows, while they don't experience sexual or romantic attraction, you could still like a relationship. It just wouldn't be a physical one, like a QPR or something. You know, clear platonic relationship. But if he doesn't respect that, even after you tell him, then I would definitely avoid him afterward. But I would just be honest with him and let him know and explain to him what Arrow is, what Ace is, and go from there. That's the easiest way to start. You got to be honest. And tired artists, you're right. And I think that's what they're leaning towards when it comes to Patton being a little bit overwhelming right now, because he's really putting too much pressure on Thomas to be good. And I feel like eventually Thomas is gonna snap on the fact that, like, you know, he can't always choose himself. Sometimes he has to choose somebody else. Or like I said that backwards. That he can't always choose the people around him. Sometimes he has to be selfish and choose himself. Ruby, I don't believe in the idea of matching dark sides to the light sides. I don't even believe in the light and dark side things. Yeah, I've seen that, Nana. People were like, oh, it's the sword and shield, like Pokemon. It's a joke. It's funny. And Helium, you're welcome. And Megmush, I do not believe that, no. Jester, it's the mini-sodes are going to be in between the bigger ones. So the bigger ones will still be there, and that's where our main plot is. Our main plot, you know, the stuff about, like, you know, SVS sequel, sort of, the part 2. And then, like, you know, eventually Roman's angst and build up in his room, and then Logan's room, and any other plot things they decide to do. Those will still exist. It's just the mini episodes give them a chance to be in between and do some funny stuff together that's still technically canon, like it still happens, but it doesn't move the main plot forward. It'd be like once a month, I think is what they said. Because Patton is pushing for perfection. That's what I believe. I believe Patton is pushing for perfection, and that's why Thomas is like going mad, pretty much. And I'm gonna switch pins because I need a pen and also a thing that can touch my phone screen. There we go. So I don't have to reach so far. Lexi, I know I'm nervous about Virgil being, you know, a dark side and other. I am worried about Thomas's reaction to that. Ruby, my theory for the next side is anger or rage, and I think he's gonna be orange. That's my idea. Yeah, all the light sides, like Logan, Patton, and Roman, all knew that Virgil used to be a dark side. And the way you know that is the fact that when Remus leaves, he says it was just like old times, and he ducks out, and Virgil's just like, it shows. I assume Roman knows because he knows Remus exists, but Logan and Patton give Virgil this knowing look of like, you have to tell him. Like, and so obviously they knew. Roman's main issue is that he's not good enough. And I know there's somebody on Tumblr that talked about the fact that, like, it makes sense now that Roman pushes himself to be so strong all the time because of his brother. He's afraid of being compared to Remus. And I think that's why he tries so difficult to push himself to be the best. And Ella, everybody wants Logan angst. Okay, Helium, I had fun. Go rewatch the sides. I do it all the time. I think sadness is too broad because we already know that Patton represents all emotions, happy or otherwise, as it's said in Moving On Part 2. So I think the makeup that the rage side would have would be like the red kind of makeup around the eyes, and his eyes would be open like this a lot. He would just be like really frustrated all the time. Like, are you guys kidding me? Like, he would just be mad all the time. Hopefully it will be orange no matter what it represents, because we all want color theory to be true. I think all the sides know everybody's name except for Virgil and Deceit. I think those are the only two that no one knows their name. Maybe Virgil and Remus know Deceit's name, but I don't think Logan, Patton, or Roman know Deceit's name. But I think they knew Remus's name. It's hard to follow. Rage is an emotion, but it's a very, in the same sense that anxiety is an emotion. I feel like rage, if any emotion gets too insane, like too overpowering, it becomes its own side. Because technically, anxiety is an emotion. He would be a split off of morality. So I don't know if obsession makes sense. We've never seen character Thomas be really like. I usually look for proof in my ideas because when I make theories, I want them to be like balanced out, and I'm just afraid that we really haven't had any clues on the fact that it might be obsession. Like, I don't know where that idea comes from. Like, where is the evidence, I guess, for that? The reason why I say anger is because we've had 3 different sides have anger issues in multiple episodes. Like obviously Roman gets pretty angry at Logan at the end of Dealing with Intrusive Thoughts. We had Logan get mad at Roman in the puppet episode where he threw the paper web back at him. Virgil basically had a panic attack in Dealing with Intrusive Thoughts. So it's just like there's something building up here, and I don't know what it is. I just don't know if it's anger and rage or if it's perfection. I don't know. I think Remus will be the one that reveals Deceit's name, to be honest, Mandy. I just feel like an emotion that both Patton and Logan conceal is anger. They don't let anything, like, the only thing that we've ever seen them get angry at is Patton got angry for Thomas saying that he wanted to lie when Thomas did want to lie, but Patton got angry saying, you don't believe that, I'm in reality, I wouldn't be here if you did. And then Logan got really angry and continues to get angry every time people try to make light of what he says. Like, I'm not a joke, or the throwing of the paper wad at Puppet Roman. Like, there's something going on here. They're building up to something, but I don't know what it is. Well, I think Logan, Roman, and Patton all knew Remus's name. I don't think they knew Deceit's name. Okay, so the big long comment by a million subscribers with no videos. My interpretation of that is it's kind of right. I do understand where that person is coming from, that comment. I don't believe Deceit and Remus are attacking Patton or attacking Thomas or trying to. All they want to do is have a seat at the table. But Patton's been so strict lately that Thomas can't even have fun. He can't even remotely have content that is considered unsafe or unfriendly or even a little white lie, because we all lie. Like, it's just, it happens. And Patton won't allow any lying, which is unhealthy, like, because you have to lie to protect yourself sometimes. And he also isn't letting any kind of, fun portrayal of any kind of, gory stuff or whatever. And I know that obviously we've been shown that Thomas isn't a fan of that stuff, but character Thomas might want to try, kind of abrasive things in his videos, but he can't because Patton says no. And I think that's the main issue, is that Deceit and Remus are not. I don't think they're attacking Patton. I think they're tired of being stopped by him. I think they're tired of not having any representation whatsoever. And that's why they're coming out and being like, and Patton being the lawyer in SVS and not Logan. I think that only happened because Thomas trusted Patton to lead him in the right direction. I think Thomas was afraid to ask for Logan's help because he knows Logan might not be able to come up with a reason why he should choose the callback over the wedding. And I also think that Logan was side benched. If you take the characters as individuals, I think that Logan was side best because Deceit didn't want his help, because Deceit wanted to prove that Thomas was lying to himself. He didn't care about the callback. He doesn't care about the wedding. He wanted character Thomas to be, look, I'm lying to myself because I do want to go to this callback, even though I'm trying to convince myself that I'm a nice person and I want to go to the wedding. Whereas Patton didn't want Logan to show up because he was afraid that Logan would come up with a compromise. Both of them, neither one of them asked for his help. And I think that's really important that everybody's like, yeah, Deceit does the action of benching Logan. He grabs him and throws him to the back. It's fine. But Patton never asked for help either. Patton even admits he doesn't know what he's doing. And yet he's so emotionally driven by the fact that Thomas doesn't want to be seen as a bad person that he continues to make more mistakes when he could have asked Logan for help. And he does throughout the episode. He's like, he wants to ask Logan whether or not what he said was a statement. He takes Logan's advice on badgering the witness, but he won't ask for Logan's help. And that's what I didn't understand about that entire episode, is why not just ask Logan for his help? But he didn't want to, because I don't think he wanted sorry, I forgot to mute my phone. That was Thomas posting on Twitter. I don't think he wanted a compromise. He wanted Thomas to be a good person and choose his own friend's feelings over his own, because that's what a good person does. A good person continuously just sacrifices himself over and over again and never thinks about themselves, which is false. That's not how that works. That is very, very bad. Welcome back, Em. I'm still flipping through old things. And good and bad is all made up nonsense. Like, that's true. Like, the way we interpret good and bad is, like, not true. And you're welcome. Sorry I got a little heated on that, but like, sorry. I know I got really. I forget that my phone records audio a lot louder than my than my computer. I apologize, but like, all of SVS really annoys me because we get all of this discourse over the fact that, like, you know him as Deceit. He's a liar. He's calling himself a liar. And then the very end of the episode, when all the other sides are gone, Patton admits that he lied to Thomas. It's okay for you to lie when you're going to condemn Deceit for doing the same? Like, okay. That's called a hypocrite, friends. And that's bullshit. Just say, like, it's bullshit. I don't know. It makes me mad. I get annoyed by it real easy. And exactly, don't think I don't like Patton. I do. I do like Patton. I think Patton is a great character. I understand that I understand that Patton's never the one calling him a liar. I get it. But it also annoys me that Virgil is willing to defend Patton and say that, oh, well, Deceit's a liar. You know him as a liar. This whole thing is rigged because it was started by a liar. But then Patton's allowed to lie too? That just doesn't. I don't. Why does he get a pass? It gets a pass for making the same decisions that Deceit does by lying to Thomas and saying, well, I thought I knew what you wanted, or I thought I knew that you wanted to go to the wedding. Like, Deceit had the whole thing. And I get that Virgil's probably biased because he probably doesn't like Deceit very much. I don't know what their history is. And Laura, that's true. Yeah, I mean, it's possible he just doesn't like Deceit. And I don't think it's fair for them to condemn Deceit over doing the same thing that Patton does, and vice versa. Patton has been put on this pedestal as a character that can do no wrong, but he's undergoing some character development right now. And I feel like, exactly, that's another thing is, yeah. And that's another reason why I think Virgil knows Deceit's name, is because he says you literally know him as Deceit. And that's another reason why I think Virgil knows what Deceit's real name is. Same with Remus, because he goes out of his way to not call him Deceit and goes out of his way of not calling him anything. Between Deceit and Virgil, I get the feeling that kind of like, I have a theory with when it comes to Virgil and Remus too, but I think that they all used to work together, and I think Deceit lied to Virgil a lot about his post in Thomas's life. I think Logan being very honest with him and accepting anxiety part 2, when Logan brings up the Yerkes-Dodson curve and explains how, like, you need a certain amount of anxiety to be good. You know, being all the way at this far end of the spectrum is bad, but also being all the way at the opposite side of the end is bad, and having a equilibrium of good anxiety is important. I think that Virgil felt listened to for the first time whenever Logan says that it's okay for him to exist. I feel like Deceit probably told him that, like, he wasn't needed, that he was bad, and that Thomas didn't really need his input in anything because anxiety is not necessary, or anxiety just makes things worse, or something along those lines. And yet, whenever he finally did show himself in front of everybody, they made him a seat at the table. And I think that also backfired on Deceit and Remus, because I don't think that they thought the light sides would accept Virgil. But neither of them, who have both been defeated by Logan at this point, considered that. Patton also needs to know that it's okay for him to be wrong. It's okay for him to make mistakes. It's okay for him to realize that maybe things aren't as bad as he claims. It's okay for him to, change his mind on things. Because I feel like the way we have the characters now is they're so set in their ways that they have a hard time understanding that it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to have led Thomas astray, as long as you recognize that you made a mistake and you go back and you're like, okay, let's redo this. And yeah, I don't know who is saying that online, that Thomas has dissociative identity disorder, because he definitely does not. It's his sides of his one personality, not multiple. He says that all the time. So yeah, and I think there's a lot of repression on Patton's side. Not only was he repressing his own sad feelings to protect Thomas, he was also repressing all the dark sides, because he's like, if Thomas doesn't know they exist, then he won't be a bad person. I don't want Thomas to be a bad person, so I'm going to subdue these other sides and not know they exist. But nobody's perfect, so obviously that didn't work out in his favor. You guys can't hear it, but Virgil is snoring very loud right now, and it's very distracting every time I lean my head back. Okay, well, we got off topic a little bit. That's okay. That's what this live stream is for. I love Patton. I like Patton when he is intelligent. Like, one of my favorite episodes of the entire series is Losing My Motivation, which is the episode we get Logan's name in. But in that episode, Patton is able to help Logan figure out what's actually going on. And I think I wish we got more of smart Patton. Like, I like joking Patton. I like silly dad joke Patton. But I would really prefer if we had more serious Patton time, where he genuinely talks about what he knows and he doesn't make a joke out of everything. And he admits that he doesn't know, and he wants to learn. I don't think that Patton needs to always be so jokey all the time. And maybe that's just me. I don't know. But it frustrates me when all he wants to do is joke around and do whatever. Also, I need to mute my phone. Exactly, Laura. Silly dad joke Patton and serious Patton can coexist, but here recently, Patton's been just like, no, Thomas cannot be a bad person. He's not a bad person, and I'm going to prove it by being the jokey boy that hides everything and make sure that he doesn't think all these nasty, icky thoughts. Because God forbid that Thomas be a normal human being. Yeah, it's a little bit of a stretch, Em. I'm not sure about that. Yeah, and that's the thing. There is a gray area. Like, Lexi's right. In my opinion, if you were to use the terms dark side and light side, I feel like when you use those terms, Virgil is somewhere in the middle. He's not both. And I think that Patton wants to believe, because remember how Patton would constantly baby Virgil all the time, saying that, like, oh, he doesn't mean it or whatever, when Virgil was trying to be intimidating because he's anxiety, that's his job. I feel like Patton is trying to put Virgil on the complete side of good, that he's only going to do good things for Thomas, and that's not true. He's not like that. That's not his point. He has anxiety. There is an equilibrium balance here, and yet Patton wants to push him all the way to the good side and not realize that Virgil can't go all the way over there. He is in the middle. He's not good. He's not evil. He's somewhere in between. And I think that Patton has a hard time dealing with the fact that his sense of morality screams at him when he's like, you can't have, these sides that are bullying. And yeah, exactly, Mandy. Virgil knows that. That's why he's telling Patton to back the heck off, because he's like, I can be scary. My job is to be scary. I'm anxiety. I can't be this perfect little puffball all the time because I can't get my job done. Yeah, there is no gray area. It's all black and white. And I think that's what the second half of the SVS, this new episode coming up that's supposed to be like a kind of part 2 to SVS, is going to be about. It's going to be about the gray area between right and wrong, where we all live, because we all are not perfect beings. Not every single one of us lies, and every single one of us is a good person. But where we choose to lie on that spectrum between a good person and an evil person is a big gray area. Patton wants Thomas to be all the way on the good side and have no evil qualities in him whatsoever and do everything selflessly and nothing for himself. And you can't do that. You can't, and obviously Thomas is not the kind of person to be all the way on this side of the spectrum and be completely evil either. He's in the middle. Yeah, he might be in the top middle, but he's still in the middle. And making him, trying to force him to repress deceit and repress Remus and make Virgil out to be a sunshine child who wants no wrong, all those are bad. Like, you couldn't, that's forcing yourself, you're forcing yourself to lie and to not be true to yourself, which is a problem. I keep going off on tangents. I apologize. Like, Patton, I don't know if they did this in a way that they wanted you to feel sorry for Patton, but at the end of learning new things, are not learning this, embarrassing phases where you know Patton's there right after with Thomas, and he talks about how like it upset him that Virgil reacts like that, and I'm just like, I don't care if it upset you. Like, that's one thing that really bothered me, because I'm like, it's not about you, Patton, it's about Virgil and how he feels uncomfortable the way you talk to him. Like, so frustrating. Because it's not about you, Patton. It's not about, like, it's kind of like, you know, the taunter and the tauntee. Like, the person making fun of or making jokes about the other person, the one person sits there and says, well, that hurts my feelings. And then the first person's like, well, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Now you've hurt my feelings for saying I hurt your feelings. Shut up. I hate that junk. I've lived with that junk my entire life. This one-up scenario where I can't be upset, I can't be happy, I can't be hurt because someone else has it worse somewhere, so that invalidates my pain. No. And I think that's one of the big reasons why Patton's annoying me right now, is because every time someone calls him out on his BS, he wants to act like he's hurt. And I'm like, the person who's hurt is the person that called you out on something that you're doing to them. You're not allowed to sit there and turn this around back on you when it's not about you, bro. It's about the person that you're hurting. At least that's my opinion. I know I sound like I hate Patton, but I don't. I hate the new version of Patton. Anyway. Hey Mathis, what's going on? Welcome to the live stream. And Riley, I do have sides, I have sides. I have 4 right now. Exactly, tired artist. Exactly. When someone says they're uncomfortable because of how you treat them, you should care more about that person. Nana, dude, you're right. Pat, I love you. You're wonderful, but shut the heck up. Just shut your mouth. Oh, gosh. Like, I love Patton, but damn it. He makes me mad sometimes. Oh, the incomplete song? I guess I could. I thought about analyzing the songs that are in the series and, like, episodes. Like, making a video on analyzing it. Patton will end up accidentally being the overall bad guy, I feel, because he's forcing Thomas to do things Thomas doesn't want to do. Like, Thomas didn't want to go to the wedding, but he did, so he would appear to be a good person. Like, a good person, a truly good person, would want to go to the wedding. That's it. Like, side split. They would just be like, oh, well, I can't go to the callback because I already promised to go to this wedding, so I guess I have to go to the wedding. They wouldn't have made it a big deal and made a big spindle about the fact that they want to go to the wedding if they actually wanted to go to the wedding. Oh, my side's favorite Pokemon? That's a good question. Well, Shannon automatically jumped to Umbreon just now. Shannon is my logical side, and Umbreon would definitely be their favorite. Charlotte, who's my creativity, their favorite's probably Oshawott. Melody's favorite, oh gosh, Melody's my morality. Melody's favorite's probably my favorite, which is Pikachu. And then Valoria's favorite is Chandelure. And Valoria is my my anxiety. My favorite ship, my favorite Sanderside ship is Logents, Logan and Roman. What is your favorite Sanderside song? I don't know. I'd really have to think about it. I'm probably gonna make a video on it where I count down my favorite songs. Um, but yeah, that's really hard to choose, to be honest. Well, Virgil does love the other sides, but he won't admit it because I don't know. He's a tryhard, I guess. That's what I believe. The unintentional bad guy. Patton's got to realize that he's the source of a lot of Thomas's current problems. Like, I'm trying to think. My favorite episode will be a video. I'm doing a countdown video, so you don't get my favorite episode. Yeah, it'll include all of Thomas's songs. If I decide to do a countdown video, it'll include like all of Thomas's music, probably. Not his covers, even though I like his covers, but like his original songs. I appreciate you spreading the link there, Em. That's fine. I'm just a nerd that overanalyzes Sandersides, but if they want to watch, that's fine. I'm gonna give myself a beard. Patton might become Rage, but I don't know if he would. We haven't had a side transform yet, like a side that has 2 coins, but it would be interesting to see a double-faced side, even more so than Deceit is. Oh, Allie, thanks for subscribing. I overanalyze Sandersides, and I make other content. You have the word gotcha in your head, in your username. I'm a Love Live person, too. I scout in Love Live, so I have a lot of gotcha videos, too. I don't know, Izzy. We'll have to agree to disagree. I just don't. I think Patton tries to make a lot of the situations about himself. Oh, Random Girl, you read my new fanfic? Thank you. It should get an update either later on tonight or tomorrow. Sure, Vanessa, go for it. I'm pretty sure some people have drawn the sides in Steven Universe style. There's a lot of Steven Universe AUs in terms of like what gems the sides would be and all that stuff. That's what I want, Tired Artist. I want Deceit and Patton canon like understanding or whatever, and I want them to talk about the fact that it's okay to love yourself and be there for yourself, and that it's not lying or selfish to love yourself. But I think Patton thinks it is. Oh, my fanfic, it's called To the Poison Named Loneliness. It's on AO3 and on Tumblr, both under my username Vigilant Virgil, and it is about Patton. He is transgender, born a girl named Patricia, and how he escapes from his terrible mother to a new life before he starts high school, and then the dramas of high school being a transgender student. See, I do like Patton. He's the main character of my story. Oh, Nana, yeah, go follow him at Tumblr. It's vigilantvirgil.tumblr.com. Oh, Lois. Okay, so funny thing about that story, that was my original Big Bang story, and yes, there is more to that. I actually have more written. I just haven't updated it yet. I accidentally put that it was only going to be like 2 chapters or something because I didn't know how AO3 worked. So that's a chapter fic, and yes, it will be updated. That's a whole universe too. That's my Logent story. And just so you guys know, To the Poison Named Loneliness, that story will be Moseat as the shipping, which is Patton and Deceit. So if you're not a big fan of Deceit, then you won't want to read that. Virgil is in it as well. He's Patton's best friend from childhood, but he ends up being with Sleep or Remy. So there's that too. Oh, Sydney, thank you. So yeah, that's those are the main fireworks. I mean, only usually around either 4th of July or New Year's Day. It's the only time we usually have fireworks here, but I live in the United States, so. I've just been really busy, so I really haven't been able to upload more than one fic at a time. And right now, To the Poison Named Loneliness is taking up more of my life, just because I've been consistently writing it. You guys have to see this. Look how cute Callie and Virgil are. Look at this. Look how cute they are. They're all cuddly and stuff. Okay. Callie, why'd you wake up for, baby? She got rolled over and then they... That's adorable. Anyway, no, Mandy, we don't, because there's an ordinance in Kentucky that you're not allowed to use certain fireworks before a certain point. You can be arrested. At least in my city, that exists. So, yeah. But no, so we don't hear anything until the week of the 4th of July, and then they have to stop, or they could have the police called on. I think that ducking out is very uncommon. I don't think they'll repeat that again. See, Tired Artist, you should read my fic then, because my fic is going to be Patton and Deceit, and it's going to be adorable because it's an AU, so they have more characteristics than just what's shown in the series. But I love that dynamic you show there. That's why Moseed's one of my favorite ships. I'll definitely have to talk about all my ships in a video too, won't I? That'll literally just be me talking to a screen the other time. Okay, bye, Allie. Thanks for joining. Thanks for subscribing. I appreciate it. You're awesome. Thank you muchly. Rose Seed is awesome too. We have evidence for that in canon episodes, so that one's pretty good too. I really love their entire interaction in SVS. In terms of like just Deceit playing up with Roman, flirting with him, and yet he gets mad when Patton does the same thing. Just suck up. Oh, and guys, I practiced my side voices the other day because a lot of you said you wanted to see a video about my sides. Oh, bye, Jay. A lot of you guys said you wanted to see a video about my sides as like a parody of the Sanders sides. So I literally sat down and thought about like what my sides would sound like. I would crave to have Thomas's ability to control his voice the way he does, because I can't do it. I'm just like, man, all my sides are going to sound exactly the same, and it's going to be really crap. I prefer Pringxiety and Logicality as brother ships. I'm not as big of a romantic on it. But I do like them. It's like they're my least favorite ships. And Roman used to be my least favorite, guys, and now he's my second favorite. And Patton used to be my favorite, and now he's my least favorite. So that tells you how much my tastes have changed in 3 years of watching this show. I'm getting very bored, and the thing I do is you ever like take a pen that's not actually a pen and just like outline things? Like I'm outlining, like I still have my computer sitting here. So like I have the side stickers in the bottom of my computer, and I'm literally just taking my pen and like outlining like the sides of the stickers. Oh, my pronouns are she, her, or they, them. Usually she, her, they, them isn't really too bad, but I don't mind it. But she, her, they, them mostly. I think the character development that Roman got is character development that Patton needs. Really bad. Because Roman also used to be very, very inconsiderate of other people's emotions, and now he's not. He really tries his best to please everybody and also yet be kind, genuinely kind to them. And I feel like Patton's kindness is a little bit more forced because he feels like he has to be kind. Yeah, Roman's my second favorite. Like I said earlier, my favorites list is Virgil, Roman, Deceit, Logan, Remus, Patton. And to be honest, Deceit and Logan are kind of together. They're kind of tied for third. I don't really have a favorite between either one of them. Looks like Thomas tweeted again. Oh my lordy. Oh, okay. It's just about his Spotify playlist for October. But guys, we have hit the 1 hour mark. So if there's any last minute questions you guys want to ask me, I have somewhere to go here pretty soon. I don't know why Moxiety's hated, but it's one of my OTPs. So, like, Legends is my OTP. Moxiety's, like, right there. I've written several Moxiety fics. If you want to go to my AO3, which is Vigilant Virgil, you can read them. One's a one-shot in my prompt thing, and then there's also the other one-shot called Be My Beloved, which is very sad. It has major character death, but not really. But it's good. You should read it. It's one of my favorite fics I've ever written. But yeah, guys, so does anybody have any last minute questions? Because if not, I'm going to get the hecky out of here. I got stuff to do. Yeah, don't get me started on the Rimrom thing, because I will get really mad. Not mad that people ship it, mad that people are policing other people who ship it. I like your sides, Vanessa. Very nice. Remy is an aside, but he is important to the fandom, and I like Remy a lot in terms of the character that he is in the Sanders shorts. Oh, I plan to, Jester. Don't worry. I am definitely going to be why I think that discourse is stupid. Yeah, sleep is not a personality trait. It's just not. I might, you know what, guys? What would you guys think about a video of explaining the difference between the Sanders sides and the Sanders shorts characters? So people know, like, the difference between the two. Would you guys be interested in that, where I, like, talk about, you know, the difference between the two and, like, how they look and stuff? It'd be called Sanders sides versus Sanders shorts, and we would talk about the difference between the different characters. See, my intrusive thoughts wouldn't be a side, Vanessa, but that's pretty cool. Sweet. I have my paper from the last week where we wrote down all the other ideas, so we write down. I've also didn't realize this was green until earlier, but it's like a Remus color. It's a little bit light green, though. It's not really Remus's color. It's too light green. But the only other pen I have in here is my where's it at? My purple pen. Oh, Lexi, I didn't cosplay on Halloween. I just wore my Roman V2 sweater. I didn't change my favorite side so easily. Virgil was my favorite for a while. Patton was only my favorite my first watch through, but then after that, I changed to Virgil after accepting. Well, I guess technically after fitting in, I changed to Patton or changed from Patton to Virgil. Patton kept going down the more serious he wasn't. And then Logan did a lot of stuff which made him popular. Roman went through his character development, which I loved. It wasn't necessarily all at once. It sounds like it was really fast, but it wasn't. Oh, Nanny, you read my fic? Which one? Oh, there's plenty of Rose Seat, honey. Go to Tumblr and get in the tag. You might not get it because you were spelling it wrong. It's EI, not IE, but. Oh, I get you emotional, Anna? Oh, you must have read To the Poison Named Loneliness then. Yeah, my brother tried to call me, guys. You can say hi to Dylan again, but I'm using my phone, so I couldn't answer him. See what's funny, Jester, is purple was always my favorite color, and then when Fitting In came out and Virgil's color became purple, I freaking flipped. I was just like, yes! I have all this purple clothes. I can like relate it to Virgil now, even though that really wasn't the point. I disliked Roman because he was selfish. He really didn't care about anybody else but himself, but then he went through a lot of character development where he realized he didn't have to. Also, Ruby, you want to be careful initializing Sander sides as SS. Those initials have a lot to do with Nazism. So I would be careful. Usually say like TSS or just TS. Something else that's not just SS by itself. You don't want to do that. Roman and Remus hate each other, I think, because they are a dichotomy of being the same person. They both represent the same thing, and I think that's where a lot of Roman's self-esteem comes from, is the fact that Thomas's creativity is so wide, one character can't control it all. So that right there is, I think, where a lot of Roman's problems come from. Hey, Ella, me too. My favorite colors are purple and orange as well. Yeah, it's definitely, and they're both, yeah, and Lois is right. They're both fighting for attention, that too. But yeah, Sydney, it's very important. So that you guys need to share that because a lot of the fandom doesn't know because a lot of the fandom is young. But if you see someone using the initials of SS, don't do that. Like, make sure you let them know what it stands for and that they shouldn't use it. That they should use TSS or just literally spell out Sander sides. I think it's very important that people know. Sorry, my brother is still texting me. Like I said, I have something to go do, which of course is Pokemon Go related because it's how I am. Remus, I don't think hates Roman, and I don't think Roman hates Remus either. Not in my opinion. I think it's more of a frustration thing because they both represent the same thing, and Roman wants to be the only one because of the idea that he is the good one. So he also has some work to do to accept his brother too. I'm just gonna call you Million, but Million, good job. Love them all equally. That's what Virgil did in Fitting In because he's like, maybe I don't need a house. I don't need a Hogwarts house to belong with you guys. And that was really cute because Virgil's adorable. I have not seen A Lesson in Practicality. I want to read it, but I haven't read it yet. Roman likes deceit, though. He likes deceit because deceit flatters him. That's literally why he does, I think. Oh yeah, like my phone knows when I type out the sides names because I tag them on Tumblr so many times. All I have to do is tag Like if I start typing out Virgil, it'll spell it for me, and then it'll also put Sanders after it. Oh, thanks, Million. Appreciate that. Well, it's not really an old name as much as it's my real life name, but my real life name is Amanda. Thanks. I'm gonna go participate in the Colossal event for Pokemon Go, where we're gonna get Regigigas. It's gonna be exciting. My brother's on his way, so I don't have to stop until he gets here. Considering I'm already like dressed and ready to go. Yeah, a lot of my old videos use my old name, so if you watch a lot of my old reacts, it'll still have my old name in it because I wasn't gonna delete them and re-upload them for such a small change. This little zit thing will not go away. It's really annoying. Oh, the only social media that I do a lot of Standard Side stuff on is my Tumblr, which is vigilandvirgil.tumblr.com. I also have an Instagram, which is also Vigil and Virgil, but there's an underscore between Vigil and Virgil and then after Virgil because Vigil and Virgil as a word was already taken. And then I also have my AO3, which is also under Vigil and Virgil, and then you can follow me on Twitter at Riley Logan. I tweet about a little bit of everything. I do tweet a lot about Standard Sides, but I also tweet about anime in general and Love Live, which is my other major hobby. And some video game stuff. I like video games as well. As you can tell, like a Persona 5 wall scroll right there. But I also really like Zelda and a lot of other random games. Like I'm replaying Kingdom Hearts 2 right now. But all right, guys, that's going to be it for me. I'm going to get out of here since my brother's on his way. I need to get my shoes on. And take care of the babies because I'm sure as soon as I start moving, they're going to be like, ooh, food. So, I will see you guys next Saturday. I am hoping so bad that I can get a video done this week for the Standard Sides. Something. I don't know what it'll be, but I'm hoping to get something done. I have a hard time starting anything, so hopefully... Oh, Vanessa, the new UR, are you talking about Yo and the steampunk set? Because it's awesome. Yo's one of my middle favorite girls, so I really like it. But anyway, I will see you guys next time. In the description below will be all the links that you can support me at, my Ko-fi, my Patreon, and my direct PayPal. I could use any donations you feel. I'm still paying on Dot's vet bills. I've still got probably about almost $350 to pay on her vet bill, so feel free to donate to any of the links below to help support me and my kitties. But yeah, other than that, I will see you guys next Saturday and hopefully see you guys in a video sometime this week. But stay fresh, guys, gals, non-binary pals. I love you. See you later.